every son. Thomas More University. Accelerate your career with a business degree from Thomas More University. And by Kelty Chevrolet on Route 50 and 275 in Lawrenceburg. Greater Cincinnati's fastest growing full service dealer. And the Tri-State's #1 Chevy lease dealer. All because of your family believing in ours. From our family to yours. KeltyChev.com. This is high school football tonight.
All right, welcome in to the Week 8 edition of High School Football Tonight, powered by TriStateFootball.com right here on Cincinnati's ESPN 1530, Fox Sports 1360. I'm Dan Klaskins, along with Jacob Berkmeyer here tonight in for Greg Shoemaker. We have so many storylines to get to, playoff seedings being battled for on a beautiful fall Friday night here across the area. We are thrilled to be back with you. We'll be here to 11 o'clock. On these channel waves. You can get us on the iHeart app as well, and our live stream over at Tri-State Football on YouTube. Getting some help behind the glass. Drew Westerheide helping us out producing the program tonight. Haley Vallandingham doing a great job on that live stream. And Jacob, welcome into the chair. It's Shoe's taking a rare show off here as he braces for his trip to watch the Bengals up in Green Bay. But dude, good to have you in here. And I mean, you've been up on some big Friday nights before, man. But this probably under these lights, here you are, my friend.
It's a little bit different, and definitely filling in for Shoe. There's some pretty big shoes to fill, pun intended.
Yes.
But definitely a great night. I feel like it's the first really fall weather night that we've actually gotten for high school football. I feel like this warm weather's kind of stuck around for a while. You get little 50 degrees, lights are on, it's a good night. And, we're still getting some of these scores rolling in here, but we have some to talk about to start off. So.
No doubt about it. Big games on tap. We're getting into some conference play for those just tuning in, or maybe that missed or caught the end of the game. What a great finish we had here on the game we just got done listening to. St. Xavier taking down LaSalle 28-7. The Lancers actually led this game, Jacob, as we're sitting here listening to it 7-6. I mean, I'm not trying to be critical, but I mean, it was a bit of a snooze fest. And then all of a sudden it was like points were getting lit up left and right. A big fourth quarter there by the Bombers, 22 unanswered points.
Yeah. And shout out to whoever was putting the stats in on the GCL website, because they're already uploaded. Jackson Frey, 14 for 17 and 3 touchdowns, 228 yards passing. Daniel Vollmer getting a lot more involved in the offense kind of as his season's winding down. He had 12 rushes, 48 yards, also took a screen pass, 65 yards to the house. But yeah, 7-6, LaSalle was up at the end of the third. And then it went an Alex McClatchy score for 42 yards. Then Daniel Vollmer, 65-yard touchdown for a score. And then Cam Taylor caught a fade route for a touchdown as well. And Cam Taylor also caught a 2-point conversion there as well on the McClatchy score. So I think if you're St. X, you're definitely thrilled, after kind of being close and a little scary there, at the end of the third quarter for the team to just kind of turn it on there at the end.
No doubt about it, dude. And very impressive way to get through it. And, the GCL South, those two teams obviously not playing for a conference title. We're going to get into some playoff positioning. This is especially a big win for the Bombers as they're trying to get that home playoff game, perhaps that first round bye squeaked in there as well. Meanwhile, elsewhere in the GCL South, in our top game of the night, 2 top 5 ranked teams in our Blitz 5 top 25, Highlands travels to the pit to take on the Panthers of Elder. And this one definitely was a matchup between two teams coming off huge wins a week ago. I mean, Elder obviously winning their first outright GCL South title, and since 2001, getting to that 7th victory there, their first 7-0 start since 2001, their first outright title in a number of years. And then Highlands, in the thrilling way they beat Covington Catholic.
Yeah.
Tonight, I didn't know what to expect. Would these teams come out flat? It was all Elder in this one, though. Unfortunately for Highlands, just didn't have enough to keep up. They stayed in it early in the first quarter, but Elder just pulling away. That game is now final, Jacob.
Okay.
40-16. The Panthers prevail there from the pit. And like all the Elder scores here on the program, they're brought to you by Kelsey Truck Country on Route 50 and 275 in Lawrenceburg, Greater Cincinnati's fastest growing full-service dealer and the Tri-State's #1 Chevy lease dealer. All because your family believes in ours. From our family to yours, check them out, kelseychev.com. And let's talk about the Panthers tonight. They did it on the ground. We saw both of these teams come in with some pretty powerful running games. Highlands playing without one of their best running backs. Gabe Williams did not play tonight with an injury, but Lorenzen did score his 15th touchdown, but it was really the Elder running game that was the story tonight.
Tommy Becker with 4 touchdowns. I just checked to make sure he didn't score on that last one to make it 40, which he did not, but still 4 touchdowns for Tommy Becker. An impressive performance from him. And, I mean, that kid runs so hard. I mean, I've watched one Elder game so far this year, and, I mean, doesn't matter that he's a smaller kid. He puts it to him and runs tough. And, I mean, Elder has something really good going for him right now. Obviously, they haven't lost a game, but I think if you're an Elder Panther fan, or kids playing for them, the way their defense has played all year, I mean, this Highlands offense is a good offense. And, they have a lot of weapons. I know they were down. You said Gabe Williams. Yeah, but still, you got Lorenzen back there, Rio Littmer, their quarterback.
And Rio Littmer, his best game of the season might have been last week, playing a huge factor in that Cov-Cath. Here's the thing, Highlands, I mean, both these teams, I mean, they've got state title aspirations, and both of them right up in it. Obviously, Cov-Cath, they have something to say about that in Class 4A. Highlands, they play that brutal schedule. I mean, They obviously Cov-Cath was a district game last week, but non-district games included Boyle County and Ryle back there the last couple in September. They opened up with Cooper. They play 2 straight here on the road. Elder at Mason County, always a pretty good powerhouse, and then hosting Scott County, a team that also probably making a deep playoff run. So we'll see how they bounce back. Health will be an issue as it always is, but. Overall tonight, a big win. Elder will stay atop our Blitz 5 top 25. No doubt about that. One final team from the GCL South in action. I'm not sure this one's final, Jacob, but it might as well be. Moeller tonight at Mount St. Joe's, playing over on the west side.
University of Delhi, baby.
Yeah, the University of Delhi. No doubt about it. Not a friendly place for Cleveland St. Ignatius to visit tonight. St. Ignatius will host St. X on these airwaves next week, and hopefully they'll fare a little better for them next time, because it's a long bus ride home to Cleveland after being down 42-10 at last check on this one.
Yeah, that's something right there. And, if you're Moeller, you needed that game too. After last week, losing to Elder, and, Moeller plays such a tough schedule too. So for them to come out, kind of get that offensive confidence back, win 42-10, it's got to get you feeling a little good, with a couple weeks left in the regular season, heading into playoffs. You would assume Moeller would be able to have home field advantage kind of going into the playoffs, assuming nothing bad happens these last couple of weeks, but definitely a huge bounce back win for Moeller after last week.
Yeah, and I do believe that game is final now, 42-10 confirmed, just going final a few moments ago. So the Crusaders, they'll be ranked and stay right there at the number 2 spot. Let's get on to number 3 in our Blitz 5 top 25. Anderson, they continue to cruise. And Jacob, I mean, they're not going to get challenged, I don't think, too much here in the ECC.
No.
53-16. That game was in the fourth quarter, not quite over there. So they prevail. Elsewhere in our Blitz 5 top 25, another ECC matchup was the one that took place at Kings tonight, homecoming night, a blew out. It was our Blitz 5 top 25. Greg and Shu and the team were up there tonight, and Kings really just got out in this one as expected quickly and just never looked back. They win 49-14, and Kings is not a team anybody's gonna want to play themselves come November. That's for sure.
Absolutely not. I mean, they've had a really good season so far. I mean, look at the record, 6-1, 7-1 after tonight. The ECC this year has produced some really solid teams between Lebanon, Kings, Winton Woods, and then Anderson, as always. But Kings is going to be a scary matchup for whoever gets them first round.
Yeah, you mentioned Wint Woods, so we'll stay right there as we stay with our Blitz 5 Top 25. The 8th-ranked Warriors tonight, they blank West Claremont 35-0. I'm only going off the stats posted here on ECC. Total yards in this game, if this is correct, this is one of the more lopsided differentials I've seen in ECC play, at least. 507 total yards for the Warriors, -24 for West Claremont. This could be one of the more impressive defensive performances of the season.
I think it might go down as it might be the best. I don't know if you're going to have many other games that you have somebody or another team be in the negative by the end of the game. You know, that's sacks, tackles for loss every play almost, or maybe a few, positive gains. But for the Wint Woods defense to be able to do that, that's very impressive, and just confidence building for the defense going into, the end of the season here and come playoff time. And I'm not sure, has Wint Woods and Anderson matched up yet this year?
No, they have not. In fact,
I think that's a Week 10 matchup for them usually.
Well, let's confirm. Let's just confirm it.
Oh, actually, it's next week. So next week, the two top dogs in the
October
ECC.
17th. There it is. It certainly will be one of the more anticipated games. All that said, though, I mean, the way Anderson's playing, Anderson's still a pretty heavy favorite. If you were going to have some sort of spread on this game, Wint Woods will definitely give them the best matchup they've had here. Wint Woods also has to play Lebanon, Jacob. And as we're talking about ECC, checking out our friends over on Friday Football Live. And if you aren't checking out that live stream on your Friday night, you need to check it out. The great job, Wes Akers and his entire class over at NKU. They do the live Red Zone show, Friday Football Live, at their website, tgiffootball.com. You can also follow them on X at tgiffootball. Haley, as I mentioned, Vallandigham helping us out with our live stream as part of that class. So really good work there. But I'm sitting here watching the end of it. We came off so early. 31-24 right now, just under 6 minutes to go in the game. Lebanon, who, what were they, 20th? I don't have the Blitz 5 Top 25 open. Whatever, somewhere in that range. 31-24 right now, but Turpin is driving. It's 1st and goal from the 9 with less than 6 minutes to go. The Spartans trying to tie it up. So this might be one of the better ECC matchups of the whole season.
Yeah, absolutely. And I saw Lebanon play earlier. I've
got an update as a touchdown right there.
Wow.
A 9-yard touchdown pass for Turpin. They will have to get the extra point. It looks like it was a touchdown catch there by number 15, Callan Poland, a sophomore, coming up with a big play here. And Turpin will come out and try an extra point in just a moment. But Turpin's a team that they've been sort of battling in there. I know they took a lump there against Anderson, but they won our team of the week. They had a great matchup against your alma mater, Oak Hills, and pretty interesting there indeed. We'll keep you posted. The extra point is now good. So Lebanon, they're playing in front of their home crowd tonight. They'll get the ball back with 5:44 to go in that contest. Elsewhere in the ECC, I think we got to the finals. Loveland was the other game versus Little Miami. I don't have a final on that one. 7-6 last check. So haven't had a score up there. Let's get to the GMC here real quick. Your former conference, Jacob, and you've been tracking Oak Hills all night long. They're playing Princeton, the 4th-ranked Vikings. What's the latest?
They were playing them. Wow. Okay, so at the end of the third quarter, it was 20-17. Oak Hills took the lead, and 5 minutes ago, Highlander defense recovers the Vikings fumble and takes over at their own 25 with 4 minutes to play. So I believe the score is still 20-17. But we should be getting a final from that game here soon. And just implications for the GMC title with that game. As of right now, Princeton is undefeated in the GMC, and they're in first place. But Middletown is right on their heels at now 6-1 because Middletown picked up the win over Mason tonight. So if Oak Hills can pull off the upset on Princeton, then you will have both Middletown and Princeton tied for the top spot in the GMC.
Holy cow, that gets really cluttered quickly. And Middletown, they're looking really good, as you said.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about the playoff pairings and their advantage they have being in Region 2.
Yeah.
37-7 over Mason tonight. Lakota West blank Sycamore 56-0 in the final there. And Hamilton, the Big Blue, get a big win tonight, knocking off Fairfield and pick up their second win of the season. Yeah. They double them up 14-7, and that is a big win for Hamilton. Coach Krause and the boys, they've been in some games. They've had a lot of stuff, but Hamilton wins. And like all the Hamilton scores here on the program, these are brought to you by AE Door and Window Company. They sell the best and service the rest, and our thanks to Bill and Adam Weber for their continued support of high school football tonight all these many years. And it's going to be a real exciting, sounds like last couple of weeks inside the GMC.
Oh, absolutely. And, yeah, Hamilton's running back, Andre Bailey, was the one who scored the go-ahead touchdown with 1 minute and 2 left in the game. And then Hamilton's defense was able to hold off Fairfield that last minute of the game. So, huge win for Hamilton. Struggled a little bit this year, but it's definitely nice to, get in the win column again.
Yeah. I mean, it don't matter how bad your season goes, wins still taste good.
Yeah, they do.
Especially in football where, it's such a physical game each week. But let's get out to the CHL. Some scores to update you on there, including Indian Hill, 24th ranked Braves. They continue their winning ways, taking care of business tonight, shutting out Madeira 45-0. We know the Mustangs, after talking to Coach Stewart, really been dealing with some injuries, and doesn't take anything away from Indian Hill, though. The 45 points in this one, and just a big effort overall. Devlin Daniel, in the first quarter alone, 3 carries, 41 rushing yards, 3 rushing touchdowns. He ended up with 4 rushing touchdowns total, I believe, last time I checked in on that. A big performance there in Indian Hill. It's going to be a very exciting team there in Division 4, Region 16, probably one of the tougher regions in the state as we start looking at some of these playoff pairings, which we'll take a glance at there. But elsewhere in the CHL tonight, Wyoming over Finneytown 49-13. Reading gets shut out by Marymount 31-0. The games that we have current finals for here now. Jacob, obviously, you playing, high school football and stuff. You get to this time of year, I mean, injuries, different things, you experience, or, sometimes, as we said, you're on a team that's not really going anywhere, but any given Friday, things can happen. And I think what we really see this time of the year is where where people are going to try to put their best foot forward. And sometimes these teams upsetting these other teams, I mean, that is their entire season. I mean, Hamilton getting this win and ruining something for somebody else tonight, for instance, I mean, that could really turn a season around, even if you can't get back up there in the standings.
Absolutely. And I think, it's just, you got some of these teams with 16 teams. When I played, it was only 8 teams made it into the playoffs. So now with 16, I think that keeps the door open for a lot of these teams who you might have struggled through the first 7 weeks, but if you can rattle off a few wins here, week 8, 9, and 10, maybe that puts you in contention to make one of those last playoff spots. And I don't care who you are. If you're a senior in high school and, you get the opportunity to play a couple extra games of football, or at least one guaranteed game of football your last year, everybody wants that. So even with Hamilton, it's like, them getting a win, if they can string together a couple more, maybe they get in. And, if you're Oak Hills, in that GMC matchup right now, if Oak Hills can hold off Princeton and get a win, that might be the difference in not playing Elder or Moeller, St. X, or one of those, top 3 teams, in that second round or first round. So I think there's a lot of things that go into that for sure.
No doubt about it. Lots of things to consider, but we've got so many more games to get to tonight. We're going to talk to plenty of coaches before the night is through. We'll take you out to the Underground Sports Shop scoreboard as well over at tristatefootball.com. We'll run through conferences by conferences. We've got finals in Indiana, some big games in Kentucky, especially some small school football. Mm-hmm. Before we get out of here, we'll, of course, hand out our game balls as well. Be sure to like Tri-State Football on Facebook. Follow us on X and Instagram, too. And as we said, you can get the live stream and all of our great videos over there on YouTube. But we're going to take a quick break right now. We'll come back. We'll talk some Kentucky scores, try to catch up with our first coach or two as we wrap up the first hour of our high school football tonight post-game show right here on Cincinnati's ESPN 1530 and Fox Sports 1360.
Dave the Door Guy with Overhead Door Company of Northern Kentucky with the joke of the day. Why did the garage door play wide?
All right, we want to try Coach here.
Because it was always open.
Copy. Working on it.
Jokes and unsurpassed garage door service, give us a call at 513-347-DOOR or visit ohdnky.com. That's
Got it. I'll try Spect first.
ohdnky.com.
With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different.
Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it saves my mistakes for me to review, so I'm constantly improving. Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Mela Services has been your one-stop shop for window and carpet cleaning for over 15 years. We've built a reputation for excellence with thorough, responsive, and dependable service. Mela's proud of our 4.9 out of 5-star Google ranking because it means we've delivered excellent service.
You said Crouch was the other option? All right, trying him.
Award-winning team of cleaning experts to work for you. Check us out at melaservices.com/football.
Penn Station is turning up the heat. The Ghost Pepper Cheesesteak. Premium steak, provolone, and fiery ghost pepper cheese. Only here through November. Get it before it vanishes. Visit Penn Station or order on our website or app. Penn Station. Love your sub. You craving what I'm craving?
We've been doing our own thing for more than 50 years at Gold Star. All so you can do your own thing. The Coney thing. The veggie thing. The fries thing. The juicy flat top burger thing. The cheesy, crunchy, wrapped up in a tortilla can't believe.
All right, stand by. I'll keep trying, people.
It's not what you'd expect from a neighborhood chili parlor. And
All right, I got Coach Crouch calling back in.
at Gold Star, you're invited to come as you are. Like what you like and follow your own recipe.
All right, welcome back in Cincinnati's ESPN 1530, Fox Sports 1360. We are high school football tonight. It's
Coach Crouch is ready to go.
at TriStateFootball.com. We'll be with you till 11 p.m. Eastern. Dan Klaskins, Jacob Berkmeyer in for Greg Shoemaker, and we're going to get out to the coach hotline right away and talk to our first winning coach of the evening. We're going to go right back to the GMC where we were just talking about, and Hamilton, the Big Blue, getting a big win. They take care of business tonight, doubling up Fairfield 14-7, and here to talk to us about it, head coach Arvie Crouch. Arvie, appreciate your time. Congrats on picking up this big win here tonight.
Hey, thanks very much. I really appreciate it, and thanks for having me on, man.
Yeah, I know. I'm here with Jacob is in for Greg, and as a guy like Jacob played in the GMC too. We were just talking about these conference games, and every conference win's a big win, especially, you guys have had some hard luck losses. Tell us, what was the key in this matchup versus Fairfield? Obviously, the defense holds them down, but ultimately, what do you think of the big keys to victory were tonight?
Well, we've had some guys step up over the last couple of weeks, and we've made some good moves offensively and defensively. But the most important thing we've done is we put three phases of the football game together, and we haven't did that. Last week, we gave Princeton two scores, really, and you just can't do that and play in the GMC. And, this team could very easily be 6-1. It's unfortunate we're not, but you know what? We'll take this tonight, and we're just going to keep grinding and working hard, and hopefully we can pull out a couple more.
Absolutely. Coach, Andre Bailey tonight, 31 rushing attempts, 123 yards, and 1 touchdown. And that touchdown that he had was the go-ahead touchdown with like 1:08 remaining on the clock. Kind of just talk about like his performance and kind of the offensive line's performance tonight.
Well, if there's any D2 schools listening, they need to come get that cat. He is unreal, and he's going to be D1 eventually. And he's just a great kid, great human being. And, I looked at him, I said, you tired? And he said, hell no, I ain't coming out. So, it's just, our O-line stepped up, was blocking their ass off, and we physically took over the game and up front, and, and then he's seen the seam, and he hit it like a rocket. He's a hell of a running back, man, and even a better kid. And I'm just really happy for my kids and my coaches. They've worked so hard. This has been a long season, man, and just like you mentioned earlier, we've been in so many games we shouldn't have lost, and it's been very, very frustrating. It's been very, very long. It seems like we win the Super Bowl, tonight because it's just been so freaking emotional. And these kids deserved it. My coaches deserve it. The program deserves it. And, I'm just proud. I couldn't be more prouder.
It does feel good, and makes him finish strong. And I mean, when we look at the changing of the landscape, it's real interesting this year. Obviously, we went from 8 to 16, now the 12 playoff teams. But from the perspective of not everybody getting in, but still having more spots than there used to be. I mean, how much better do you think it's going to make October football around Southwest Ohio this year?
Well, my take on that, is always, the more the merrier. I know some teams don't like, 16s playing ones or whatever, but, it promotes, high school football, and that's what I like, and that's what I'm all about. And, it gets more communities involved, and lets more communities, it doesn't matter if you win or lose that first playoff game, the community, the school, the student body, the teachers, everybody puts a lot of work in and gets to, have a little fun for a week, even if you lose, but, anything that promotes football and gets people excited, I'm all about. 12's fine too. I would have kept it at 16, but that's not my call.
Yeah, I'd be remiss not to ask you why we have you here, RV. Last week, obviously, down at Paycor Stadium, a very special reunion. David Montgomery, your former player, coming back here and having such a big game. And I mean, we don't like to see the Bengals lose, but to see a hometown kid like that and everything he went through with his sister, what did it mean for you, knowing how great of a kid he was and a man he is today, to sort of watch all that unfold and to have that moment for him and his family?
Well, I tell you, David texts me every week, man. He's an unbelievable human being, and I couldn't be luckier to have been able to coach him. I think, our paths met for a reason, and I held him accountable and held his feet to the fire, and he responded, and he sent me the nicest text this week about, saving his life and all that stuff. And it just makes me emotional because that's why I coach, and to see him doing what he's doing and all these little kids that David didn't have nothing, man. And for these little kids, and some people like coaching at parochial schools, and I'll stick with my public and just work my ass off and help these kids, be better people and try to help them get in a better situation in their lives. And that's what it's all about. He's a shining example of that. So.
Very cool. Very cool. Thanks for sharing those thoughts with us, RV. We really appreciate it. We appreciate you spending a few minutes with us here. We know you've had a long day. We'll let you go celebrate this victory. Hopefully your team can get that taste in their mouth again here real soon.
That's right. We plan on it. Thanks.
All right. Good luck. There you have it. RV Crouch.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Head coach of the Hamilton Big Blue, picking up a win tonight, 14-7, knocking off Fairfield, picking up their second victory of the season. And as RV said, a team that's been in a lot of games, and, GMC, very little margin for error as we see here tonight, but good stuff overall. And Jacob, obviously, you were playing and in school yourself back in those days, but watching in 20 years of doing tri-state football and being able to watch some of these players that, we cover on Friday nights play on Sundays. There's been many great stories for sure, but David Montgomery was a very special player at the high school level and what he did there at Mount Healthy. And to see all that come to fruition, then you add in the tearjerker stuff with his sister and the accident. It was just a beautiful moment overall.
Well, and I had no idea Coach Crouch coached him at Mount Healthy too. So that was a surprise to me when you brought that up. I was like, that is pretty cool, and it's awesome to hear that, Montgomery still reaches out to him. And, sometimes you hear those stories where it's like the high school coach is some of the most important, one of the more important figures in some of these guys' life. So.
These high school coaches are unsung heroes in so many ways. And that wasn't even the only local story in that game, because Derek Barnes, the linebacker who had a big safety in the game, he played at Holy Cross and is still just as connected there, which is a great transition to get us into our Northern Kentucky scores over here on the Underground Sports Shop scoreboard at Tri-State Football. Be sure to check it out there yourself. You can get all the scores of tonight's big games. We talked about the Elder Highlands game earlier in the first segment. If you missed it, Highlands fell 40-16 at the Pit, suffering their second loss of the season. The Battle of the Paddle, Bellevue and Dayton there on the river, 18-0. The Tigers blanked Dayton tonight, a pretty impressive victory there. Yeah. Covington Catholic, 17-10. It's a final now. It was a low-scoring game early on, a lot of points here late, but the Colonels beating Indianapolis Cathedral,
that's
a huge
huge win. Cathedral's always been, a really good program out there in Indianapolis, and I know we talk about more often than not, like Lawrenceburg and East Central, because those are the teams in the tri-state area. But Cathedral definitely has a good program, and it's just a huge win for Covcath because Covcath has played a very unforgiving schedule this year, similar to Highlands, like we were talking about earlier. I mean, both of those schools, I feel like, play some of the toughest schedules in Kentucky.
No doubt about it. Grant County, they fall to Franklin County 63-0. Simon Kenton's up 28-16 right now, not yet final versus Great Crossing. Bishop Brasser gets doubled up 6-3. They lose to Holy Cross in a defensive battle. Newcath and Newport, they met tonight at Dixie Heights High School, and Newcath with an impressive 20-point win here. They win 26-6. Rio blanks Campbell County 54-0. We're hoping to catch up with Coach Engler at some point this evening. St. Henry, they won their second game, 2 in a row. They won in district play. Well, it ended tonight. They go to Beechwood for the first time. They fall to the Tigers, the 23rd ranked Tigers, winning 70-0. Walton Verona 52-13 victors over Gallatin County. And then some games from last night to mention. Lloyd Memorial, they continue to stay undefeated. They knocked out Henry County. They're looking for their first undefeated regular season, just now 2 wins away. Wow. If they get it, the last time that happened was in 1976 when they won the Class 3A state championship under Coach Roy Lucas, which is a pretty historic legacy team there from the Northern Kentucky. Boone County, big shout out to the Rebels, 36-28. They win in overtime last night for Scott. And Jacob, this game, they were down, let me check my notes here. They were down 20-6 to start the first quarter. They end up winning in overtime 36-28. We talked about that LaSalle St. X late scoring. This was the Rebels' first district win since 2016. So
my gosh.
Talk about getting a monkey off the back. There you go.
That's huge.
And finally, Dixie Heights last night, they win a big district game. They take down Connor 34-7. And Mason Fields, what a season the senior continues to have. 364 yards, 3 touchdowns through the air. He ran for another, and his top target, Nyshawn Goldsby. 9 catches, 201 receiving yards, 2 receiving touchdowns. A mortal lock to be one of our many players nominated for our our Mellow Window and Carpet Cleaning Player of the Week. We also have our Gold Star Team of the Week. So if you want to nominate any player or teams, be sure to email us at staff@Tri-State Football before Sunday morning. Each week, we'll take those and put them up for vote. But Jacob, in general, Northern Kentucky, a lot of good football games there, and I think a lot of good stuff. Why don't we go ahead and give some Indiana finals while we're at it? Lawrenceburg, they win tonight 55-14 over Connorsville. East Central takes down Greensburg 61-0.
30 seconds to break.
So we'll catch you up on more of that. We've got more coaches to talk to, and in general, we got some game balls to hand out. So you ready for another hour? We got one more hour left.
Power hour, man.
We got a power hour left. We'll come back and get everything caught up there as we get you ready for some more high school football. Again, and Lawrenceburg is Lawrenceburg 54-0. I had a note on that one. But the touchdowns, where was it? Isaiah Barnes, 4 rushing touchdowns. So 2 over 40 rushing yards. So a big thing there. But we'll take a quick break. We'll be back with more high school football tonight right here with Dan Claskins and Jacob Berkmeyer on Cincinnati's ESPN 1530 and Fox Sports 1360.
$5,000. That's the average.
All right, who we like here?
Now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back.
Okay. I have not heard back from Specs, so I'll try Rehage here.
Upside. Just by buying the gas you're already buying, you can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BLUE to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal,
PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use
All right, Rehage is good to go.
5 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BLUE for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Charlie Clifford with Blitz 5 football. The wait is over. I don't know what else to tell you. It's
So you go with Rehage, and when you're done with him, I'll try Angler. We'll try and get 2 in this segment.
to figure out who steals this chapter of the rivalry. Pre-game tailgate, 5 o'clock on News 5, 11 o'clock in studio, WLWT Blitz 5. Full highlights and reaction. Plenty other great games around. We'll see you for week 5.
Penn Station is turning up the heat. The Ghost Pepper Cheesesteak. Premium steak, provolone, and fiery ghost pepper cheese. Only here through November. Get it before it vanishes. Visit Penn Station or order on our website or app. Penn Station. Love your sub. You craving what I'm craving?
With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different.
Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it's
Here we go.
so I'm constantly improving. Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. BABBEL.com.
The High School Football Tonight Show is brought to you by AE Door and Window Company. They sell the best and service the rest. Penn Station, hometown love in every sub. Thomas More University. Accelerate your career with a business degree from Thomas More University. And by Kelsey Chevrolet on Route 50 and 275 in Lawrenceburg. Greater Cincinnati's fastest growing full service dealer. And the Tri-State's #1 Chevy lease dealer. All because of your family believing in ours. From our family to yours. KelseyChev.com. This is High School Football Tonight.
All right, welcome back in Hour 2 of High School Football Tonight, powered by TriStateFootball.com. It's the post-game show, and it's right here on Cincinnati's ESPN 1530, Fox Sports 1360. He's Jacob Berkmeyer in for Greg Shoemaker. I'm Dan Klaskins. We'll be with you till 11 o'clock. We're getting some help from our producer tonight, Drew Westerheide behind the glass. Haley Villandingham working our live stream. You can get that over on our YouTube page, Tri-State Football. Just search it there. But right now we're going to kick off the hour by going back out to our coach hotline, and we've got another winning coach joining us, this one from a big victory tonight in the SWAC Conference. Harrison, they shut out Talawanda 14-0. Derek Rehage, the head coach of the Wildcats, with us now. Derek, appreciate your time, and man, congrats on this big win here in the conference this evening.
Well, thanks, guys, for having me. It was really an awesome game. The atmosphere in Oxford was absolutely electric. Both teams had great crowds, and it was a phenomenal football game, to be honest. It was just a lot of fun to coach in.
Oh, heck yeah. Great night for football. Feeling like football weather out there, too, finally, thankfully. And, your guys' defense has been really a big part of your success this year. I mean, you're 6-2 right now with this win, and obviously a shutout coming, your first shutout of the season coming here. Let's talk about how the unit stepped up tonight, and especially on the road, keeping the home team off the scoreboard.
Yeah, it was. And really, I mean, Coach Huber, Carl Huber, took over as our DC last year, came over from Colerain. He installed, the Colerain 50, whatever you want to say. And we got 2 overhangs, 2 outside linebackers, David Baldock and Bryson Deller, who are absolutely phenomenal. And then we got an awesome D lineman in the middle with Grant Dalio. We got our middle linebacker back this week who had missed the last 3 weeks, Dan Schlake. And then our back end just keeps making plays. Ben Markarian had a huge pick tonight. I think he is 5 or 6 on the year in 8 games. So he's just really doing a phenomenal job. He's a ball hawk out there. And, man, they just played awesome Team D tonight. And they were up to the challenge. I mean, the Cantrell kid from Talawanda was coming in 4th in the nation. And, it was a point of emphasis to try and limit him under 100 yards.
Yeah, absolutely, Coach. And then I kind of wanted to just ask you about how Preston Flick's been like all year, and specifically this game, in a game where it's a little bit of a, grinded out, low scoring. He didn't end up getting on, the scoreboard tonight, but he had 19 carries for 101 yards, and I think he's pretty close. Yeah, it's 924 yards rushing for the season. So kind of just talk to his part and his role in the offense for you guys.
Well, yeah, Preston's
he tore his ACL last year, week 7, and he came back and was ready week 1. And he's really our rock. He's our guy. I mean, we run the offense through him. You know, we ran it 19 times a night, and he had a touchdown and was called back on a holding call. So, you know, he really is. He goes, we go. He bumped an ankle a little bit against West High, battled back, and man, I've never met a tougher kid in my life than Preston Flick. He's phenomenal, has great vision. Not the biggest kid, not the fastest kid, but man, he just figures out how to get yards when we run him, and we're lucky to have him.
Yeah, absolutely.
No doubt about it. And I mean, let's just go back to a statement you made, Coach, about holding Cantrell to 59 yards. I mean, the dude was averaging like 250 yards a game. So holding him to 59 yards, I mean, that's impressive. I mean, I don't want to underwrite like how great 59 yards is with that, the way his season's gone.
Yeah,
so,
that is insane. I'm looking at it now.
Oh, yeah.
But this win's big because obviously the SWAC title is a team goal. I'm sure you guys, getting, a first round bye potentially in the playoffs, a lot on the line. How does tonight's game? And the ratings, it's easy to help, but just from a confidence of your team, how does it help you guys, make that type of run? Coach, did we lose him? I think we might have lost him. Jacob, going back to that point with the rankings, right? I mean, Joe Idle, before tonight, I mean, we were just looking at it. I believe they were 7th in the.
Try him now.
Coach, are you with us back there?
Yeah, I'm back. I'm here.
All right. Sorry about that little technical difficulty. But no, I was just sort of hinting at obviously the SWAC standings, you guys, this is a big win there. And the playoff ratings, I'm sure it's going to help. But, I mean, you guys are trying to fight for that positioning. But in general, just winning a big game like this, how's this really getting that team postseason ready, which is, what you do each week?
And that's really what we told our kids. We said, the teams that we've played all year have been really good. We won Beaver Creek in the last minute. We lost East Central in the last minute. We lost CHCA in the last minute. And we had 6 turnovers in that game, but we hadn't played the greatest of ball on the road. So we wanted to go and have a good game on the road, and we absolutely did that tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, Coach, I just wanted to talk to you about, I'm not exactly sure how long you've been coaching at Harrison, but, 2020 to 2022, Harrison was kind of at the bottom of the Southwest Ohio Conference. And then from 2023 through this year, you guys have been lights out, awesome. So kind of like, what have you done to kind of get the program, back into a really good spot and, being successful?
So I've been the head coach since 2017. I won my first SWAC title in 2019. We went to the regional finals, and then COVID hit, and it kind of changed some things at Harrison. And I went through some personal stuff, and, we've come back and we totally changed. We were with Connor Kennett back in 2019. We were 4 wide and threw it probably 70% of the time. And now we are 12 personnel, and we run it until the cows come home. I told the boys we're going to run it, and we're going to run it, and we're going to run it. We took a couple shots tonight with Josh Adelsberger.
Yeah.
He probably had his best game of the year. He had 70 yards on, I think, 7 catches. Had a huge third down conversion. We were 3rd and 19 from the 19, so it was 3rd and goal, and he catches it all the way down to the 18. We go for it on 4th and 1 to punch it in to go up 14-0.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's great. And thanks for taking us through that journey too, Derek. It's been quite a run there. We know you've had a long day, and you got a lot of good football still left this year. We hope to catch up with you soon. Thanks for taking some time with us here tonight.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yep.
All right, there you have it. Harrison getting that big dub tonight, 14-0. Putting them in spot there to be SWAC champs. Blake and Talawanda, great season here for Talawanda. This is just their first loss, so good things ahead there. Elsewhere in this Southwest Conference, Mount Healthy and Trotwood Madison blanks Mount Healthy tonight, 34-0. So don't have a Dunbar Northwest score, but Jacob, you mentioned it. Harrison really, this isn't just a this year thing. I mean, it's what you do in a program and in region, just another team here in region.
They're Division 2,
Region 8,
because,
Division 2. That's just loaded with really good football team.
Last year, if I remember correctly, I think they made it either to regional semis or regional finals, and they lost to LaSalle, which obviously LaSalle's got a good program and everything. But I mean, if you're Harrison, that's it's definitely something to be excited about, and just you can kind of tell the culture shift and kind of what he was talking about. You know, I remember when, 2019, that was the year I graduated. So I remember that quarterback that was slinging rock for them. They're running a 4 spread wide, and now they're going to 12 personnel, playing bully ball, just running it down your throat. And I think that bodes well for playoff success because you can rely on your defense and rely on the time of possession battle and, hopefully get some wins come playoff time if you're Harrison.
So let's get an update on what is easily the best game of the night taking place between Turpin and Lebanon out of the ECC, which has now gone to overtime. 38-38 is the score. They're doing a coin toss as I speak, so we'll keep you up to date on that one. Let's get out to that Underground Sports Shop score. Look at some games we haven't talked about tonight. We'll go to the CMAC. We got some scores there. Cincinnati College Prep, CCPA. They blanked Schroeder last night, 36-0. Hughes took down Woodward. That was 59-12. Ninth-ranked Taft. They continue their undefeated season, beating Western Hills 58-0. And Withrow, way too much to handle tonight for Aiken in a battle of 3 and 2 teams. They win 45-6. Gamble Montessori, they'll play Dayton Christian. That'll be a Saturday game. We'll keep you posted on that one. In the GCL Co-Ed League tonight, Baden takes out Carroll 55-0. The Rams winning pretty handily. Fenwick, they are winners versus Chaminade Julienne 36-14. Still waiting. I know you were checking on that Alter McNick score. It was 6-0 Alter last check there, Jacob?
And I'll check again. I just haven't.
All right, well, as you look at that, let's go to the Miami Valley Conference for some scores on the scoreboard tonight. A lot of finals to talk about there, including MVCA beating Laughlin 41-6. New Miami blanked by St. Bernard Elmwood Place 44-0. Cincinnati Country Day shuts out Norwood 33-0. Roger Bacon 41-13 over Summit Country Day. CHCA 35, Purcell Marion 12 in the fourth quarter. North College Hill, Clark Montessori, they'll play on Saturday in that one. So CHCA, you heard him talk about in their team that's ranked 2. They continue to play pretty well in that Miami Valley Conference.
Yes, they have.
So with that, Jacob, I mean, as we look at,
I got Specht ready to go.
We were before we get back to some of this playoff pairings talk, let's get back out to the coach hotline because we do have head coach Steve Specht joining us from St. X. They win tonight and very impressive fashion, pulling away late as a game you heard right here on the airwaves. St. Xavier takes down LaSalle 28-7. And Coach Specht, we appreciate you taking a few minutes to talk about the big win tonight. Congrats on that, and thanks for your time.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, guys.
Coach, I mean, let's cut right to it. You guys were down 7-6. We were sitting here in the studio listening to Tony and the gang, and, I mean, a fourth quarter explosion there. I mean, what really changed? Was the spark to that, the offense getting going there?
Well, I don't know that much changed. You get into a GCL South matchup, and it doesn't really matter who the opponent is. It's going to be a great game. And Pat does such a good job with those kids at LaSalle, and they play hard and they're fast. And it was a dogfight in that first half. We were down 7-3. And it's one of those deals where you just have to keep pushing and keep doing fundamentals, keep doing what your game plan was. And I think at the end there in the fourth quarter, we clicked, and I think we warmed down a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. And Jackson Frey in that fourth quarter, man, he played lights out. He went 14 for 17, 228, and 3 touchdowns. And I know one of those went to Daniel Vollmer. It seems like you guys have gotten Vollmer a lot more involved in the offense the last few weeks. Kind of like, what did you see out of those two guys tonight?
Yeah, Jackson had a real nice fourth quarter. He missed a couple of reads in the first half. LaSalle did a real nice job with their pressure package. They were bringing a number of different concepts at us up front, and one of the adjustments at halftime was we knew they were playing a lot of man coverage, so the screen game went up. The depth chart, and Daniel, the pass to Daniel was actually just a screen, a middle screen that he was able to take to the house. And you live by the blitz and you die by the blitz sometimes. But we just had to start trying to take advantage of the man coverage that they were giving us. And we had some kids that made some nice plays. Daniel made a nice play. Jackson made a few nice throws. Cam Taylor made a real nice catch on one of them. Alex McClatchy made a real nice catch on one of them. So it's just, like I said, you get into GCL South football, and it's a battle. It doesn't matter who the teams are, what the records are. It's going to be a great battle.
Coach, you got the big milestone earlier this year. Obviously, becoming the all-time winningest coach there in the program. It's a milestone season here for us at Tri-State. Greg and I, we launched the site about 20 years ago, but just sort of reflecting on the span of time. Like we were talking about it last week, me and some of the other guys, but like how much the game has changed, even at the high school level. I mean, you've been doing this stuff a long time, and I mean, some of the fundamentals. I mean, your basic principles, they apply. But like when you talk to a young coach that's coming up, what advice would you give to like a guy that's just starting his coaching career at high school on really just how to approach the kids today? I mean, how's it different from back when you were at that spot?
That's a great question. That's like the $1 million question. I don't know. Kids haven't changed. I want to be very clear about that. Society has changed. Social media has been a game changer in a lot of ways, good and bad for kids. But kids are still kids. They want to be challenged. They crave. I firmly believe they crave discipline. I don't know that the game has changed. I think as the game evolves, if you think back to the single wing, everybody's talking about the zone read and the dual quarterback run, and it's like, this is just single wing stuff that they ran back in the 30s and the 40s. So, I don't see, social media has changed the landscape. Everybody knows everything about everybody, and how many people post negative things on social media? I'll tell you, zero. They're all posting these positive things, and I think sometimes kids get lost in this world that I have to measure up. And I tell our kids, it's social media, man. Nobody's posting anything bad.
They don't post the fumbles.
Yeah, exactly. Not the interceptions. They don't post that, and it's like, every single young person is growing up with same struggles. But they see all this crap on social media and they think, these other people have it so good. No kidding. It's educating that way. Mm-hmm. But no, I don't think I haven't changed my approach to coaching. I still coach these kids hard. I love them hard. Sometimes it's tough love. But no, I would encourage, I just hope we see a lot of young people going into this profession because it's gotten a lot tougher. It really has. Transfer portal, NIL has changed the landscape. I mean, you could do an entire show on that, guys. Yeah,
no doubt about it. Well, we know you've had a long day, Steve. We always appreciate your time and love getting your insight on some of those deeper topics, too. So best of luck. You guys got another tough one next week, as always. Long trip up there to St. Ignatius. So good luck to you.
No, I appreciate you guys. Love what you do. Thank you.
All right, there you have it. Coach Steve Speck throwing down some words of wisdom. We'll break that down. More games. We're going to take a quick break. We're back with Dan Klaskin's Jacob Berkmeyer. More high school football tonight, the post-game show right here on Cincinnati's ESPN 1530 and Fox Sports 1360.
Mela Services has been your one-stop shop for window and carpet cleaning for over 15 years. We've built a reputation for excellence with thorough...
All right, I'm going to try Angler again. Any of these others? Okay.
Over and over again. So let us put our award-winning team of cleaning experts to work for you. Check us out at melaservices.com/football.
For over 20 years, the Underground Sports Shop has been the local favorite for sports teams, fans, and businesses who are looking for quality products with prices they can afford. From uniforms and sports gear to fan apparel and promotional items, we take pride in providing you with the customized products you need and the service you deserve. To place an order, visit us online at theundergroundsportsshop.com or call us at 51.
All right. Well, I've tried Angler twice. I'm getting dial tones most of the way, so.
And off the field.
Okay, I'll keep you posted if Angler calls in, but I'll just let you guys go here.
Moeller and St. X and Jackson Fry and Matt Ponatowski are going to duel to figure out who steals this chapter of the rivalry. Pre-game tailgate, 5 o'clock on News 5, 11 o'clock in studio, WLWT Blitz 5. Full highlights and reaction. Plenty other great games around. We'll see you for week 5.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with
Here we go.
drops. Use as directed.
All right, welcome back in to high school football tonight, the post-game show. Dan Klaskins, Jacob Berkmeyer. We got Drew Westerheide behind the glass and Haley Vallandingham helping out with the live stream. You can catch that over on our YouTube page at TS Football. Big thanks out to our NKU friends over there. The class, Wes Akers, does a great job. Check them out, Friday Football Live. Their website, tgifootball.com. You can also follow them X at TGIF Football. And they still got a live stream going on here, Jacob, because Lebanon just blocked what would have been a game-winning field goal. We are now in the second overtime.
Oh, my gosh.
38-38. We're scheduled to speak to the winning coach of this game. I don't know if we'll get off the air before this one's over, but it's already been a great show. If you haven't caught any of it, we'll always put all the great coach interviews up on our podcast page. And if you're not following Tri-State Football over on Spotify or subscribing to the podcast wherever you listen, not only do you miss out on all these interviews, but Jacob, you and Daniel Kuhn, you guys do one of our 2 live streams during the week, which is TSF Rewind live stream on Monday nights. Tell people what they can expect with you guys over there on Monday nights.
Usually, because I'm not covering a game, it'll be a little bit different. Usually, Daniel and I cover a game on Friday nights, and we'll talk about, each game that we cover, a couple teams that, it's really hard to fit all of these teams in the tri-state area into one 30 to 40-ish minute segment. So then we kind of try to highlight some teams we don't talk about a ton. We'll usually just roll through, the new week, Blitz 5, top 25. And, just kind of review what's happening. And, as playoffs, I think we'll continue to do it come playoff time like we did last year. And that's where it gets a little bit fun. You get some of these playoff matchups to talk about. And as the playoffs move forward, teams get eliminated. So then you can start focusing a little bit more on whoever's left. But really just recapping everything that happens. So, tune into us on Monday nights. We usually aim for about 8 p.m. Try to get it done before Monday Night Football starts, so nobody's listening to that, worrying about if they're fantasy football players, win them their matchup for that
Are you talking about me or my bad?
I'm in 6 leagues too, man. I know
I need
you're
my
in a
Monday
lot.
Night
Yeah.
Miracle every Monday, just about. Yeah, and if you can't catch it live, that's the best part. You can listen on demand, which is why you subscribe to the podcast, the audio version, the video versions at YouTube. We got the TSF Game Plan Show on Wednesdays with Safwan Alvey and Brandon Lampley. All kinds of good stuff there. So if you're not on our YouTube channel and doing that, you're missing out. Speaking of which, let's, while we're at it, thank all of our community sponsors over at Tri-State Football. Big thanks goes out to our partners there. Without them, we couldn't do what we do, and they are proud supporters of our community. They include Gold Star. Follow your own recipe, Mellow Window and Carpet Cleaning, the best in residential cleaning services, and the Underground Sports Shop, showcasing pride on and off the field. All right, Jacob, we have a lot of people probably just jumping in their cars, so let's set through some of the headlines tonight. We'll go back up. The biggest game of the night, at least in terms of our Blitz 5 top 25 rankings, was number 5 Highlands making their way to the pit on the west side to take on Elder, and this one was all Panthers. They win the night 40-16. You've seen the Elder play. I've seen a little bit of them, but this is a team we've seen quite a bit of. I watched a lot of this game on the live stream, at least in the first half of it. Elder, man, they look like a team of destiny. I'm still not, this is a tough loss for Highlands, but I'm still optimistic they got a deep playoff run in them as well.
I think there's always a little bit of a difference, especially when you're talking about GCL football. Just like, it's not a knock on Northern Kentucky at all, but just the difference, I think, in Cincinnati to, Northern Kentucky football, there's a little bit of a Elder, their defense is just so lights out this year. I mean, the game that I watched of them, and unfortunately I had to miss the Moeller game last week, but when I watched them play LaSalle, they were in the backfield 80 to 90% of the game, just causing havoc. And, Highlands, I think, relies a lot, too, on running the football. And, if you're running into some, big fellas on that Elder defense, it's hard to, string together quality runs and sustain drives against that defense. And then, their quarterback, Caden Estep, he's been lights out this year, not turning the ball over, dual threat quarterback. Coach Ramsey loves the quarterback draw. You know, he always has a mobile quarterback to be able to
Our
run.
reigning player of the week over there, Jackson Ruth.
Yeah.
Coach Ramsey called him, I believe, last week on the program when he joined the guys on the post-game show, pound for pound, the toughest guy on the team.
Yeah.
And he won our Mel Window and carpet cleaning player of the week last week with his huge performance. But I'm looking at the stats for tonight in this contest, and Highlands, as I mentioned, they were playing without Gabe Williams, one of their better players. But on their side of the ball, Rio Littmer threw it 41 times, 27 of 41. He was picked off twice. Lorenzen had a pass attempt in this game on third down, and it got picked off as well. So 3 big interceptions there. But Elder turned it over twice themselves.
Yeah.
So, early on, in the game, especially the Bluebirds got a couple big turnovers there. But they were bottled up pretty much offensively. Lorenzen did score his 15th touchdown. He only carried the ball 4 times for 11 yards.
It's just crazy because I think the week prior he had like 20-plus touches or 20-plus rushes. And, it's insane. Elder, 34 carries, 306 rushing yards.
Yeah,
almost a 10-yard average, and then they had 5 rushing touchdowns too. So
well, what happened is after they turned it over on their first drive, Becker had a huge play, and they figured out they're like,
we can just run the ball.
We're just going to run this all night long, and that's basically what happened. And they, as you said, they finish up here with some impressive stats there. St. X, we talked with Coach Speck. They win 28-7. Offensively, was that. But let's get back to the GMC, where there were a lot of big games tonight. Nobody had a bigger win probably than Middletown.
Yeah, and I would say honestly Princeton as well. But yeah, Middletown ends up winning 37-7 over Mason, which was huge for them. Still staying in contention for that top spot if Princeton drops a game at all. But Middletown's been rock solid this year. And last year they were pretty solid too, but just a huge defensive game for them. And it looks like Mason might have been missing starting quarterback D'Angelo Birch, which
interesting.
That could have played a part.
Definitely
in
a
it.
factor.
Because if you guys remember, D'Angelo Birch was Princeton's quarterback last year and then ended up transferring into Mason. But Middletown's quarterback Justine Bourne, 9 for 14, 206 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Well, that Middy's defense, they hold them to 7 tonight. Lakota East only got 6. Lakota West, that's a game they lost. So they gave up 27 there. But then in the 3 or 4 games before that, 4 straight wins against Fairfield, Oak Hills, Coleraine, and Sycamore, they gave up a combined 11 points.
Yeah.
This defense is legit.
Yeah. And, what we've talked about a little bit with in terms of the regions for playoffs, Middletown really lucks out because they are not in Region 4. They're in Region 2. So they are going to be able to avoid a St. X, Elder, Moeller, Princeton.
What's going to be great is if they get in there and get all the way to the semifinal. I don't know when Region 2 matches up with us, but the rest of but that'd be cool. But next week Princeton still got to get past Fairfield. Hamilton, Middletown's got to get past Hamilton, and as Coach Krause reminded us, there's no easy win. So we're not going to discount Week 9 for either of these teams. But if they both win next week, Week 10, Middletown at Princeton for the GMC title.
Yeah, Princeton wins, it's outright title for them, and if Middletown wins, it'll be a shared title. But also, I just want to touch on the Princeton Oak Hills game a little bit because Oak Hills gave Princeton a scare today. They were up. Oak Hills was up, or it was 10-10 going into halftime, and then it was 20-17 in the third quarter. And Oak Hills had took the lead with 1 minute to go after they ran a wide receiver pass, I think, or a double pass, and got it down to the 1, and then QB sneaked it for a touchdown. But how about Princeton ends up throwing back-to-back like Hail Marys to win the game? So 30-27, they beat Oak Hills, my alma mater. I was really pulling for the Highlanders.
I know you were all excited about doing the show, and then you got all bummed out real quick.
So, but a huge win for Princeton there. I mean, going into Oak Hills, I'm sure it was a packed crowd down there, and it's like they say in the NFL, any given Sunday, and it can be a little bit of the same here in some of these conferences.
Yeah.
Any given Friday, and Oak Hills really put up a fight, but huge win for Princeton to stay undefeated in the conference, 7-1 overall. Princeton is looking really good this year, and I think primed for a nice little run in the playoffs.
No doubt about it. We do have a final. Lebanon hits a field goal in double overtime after blocking Turpin's attempt. They win 41-38 there. That's final. We'll get back to the ECC.
That might be longest game of the the season, honestly.
That's a good one. It was a good one.
That's
a lot of points.
3.5 hour game right there.
A lot of points. So we'll do this. We'll take a break. We'll come back. Hopefully we can catch up with another coach. We got more scores to talk about, game balls to hand out. Stick around. We're rolling with you till 11 o'clock. It's Dan Claskins. It's Jacob Burkmeyer at Cincinnati. It's ESPN 1530 and Fox Sports 1360.
Mela Services has been your one-stop shop for window and carpet cleaning.
All right, so no luck with Engler.
With thorough, responsive, and dependable service. Mela's.
Yeah, Failer. Yeah, wait till the last segment to try to get Failer. Okay, sounds good.
Put our award-winning team of cleaning experts to work for you. Check us out at melaservices.com/football.
Charlie Clifford with Blitz 5 football. The wait is over. I don't know what else to tell you. It's Moeller and St. X, and Jackson Fry and Matt Ponatowski are going to duel to figure out who steals this chapter of the rivalry. Pre-game tailgate, 5 o'clock on News 5, 11 o'clock in studio, WLWT Blitz 5. Full highlights and reaction. Plenty other great games around. We'll see you for week 5.
We've been doing our own thing for more than 50 years at Gold Star. All so you can do your own thing. The Coney thing, the veggie thing, the fries thing, the juicy flat top burger thing, the cheesy, crunchy, wrapped up in a tortilla, can't believe this is a thing. It's not what you'd expect from a neighborhood chili parlor, and we think that's a good thing. At Gold Star, you're invited to come as you are, like what you like, and follow your own recipe.
Penn Station is turning up the heat. The Ghost Pepper Cheesesteak. Premium steak, provolone, and fiery ghost pepper cheese. Only here through November. Get it before it vanishes. Visit Penn Station or order on our website or app. Penn Station. Love your sub. You craving what I'm craving?
With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different.
Babbel was designed by over 200
Copy.
effective way to learn another language.
Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it saves my mistakes from
So Failer in the last segment it is. Here we go.
good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. BABBEL.com.
All right, welcome back in to Cincinnati, ESPN 1530, Fox Sports 1360. It's high school football tonight, powered by TriStateFootball.com. He's Jacob Burkmeyer, in for Greg Shoemaker. I'm Dan Claskins. We've got Drew Westerheide behind the glass, and Haley Vallandigham helping us on our live stream. Catch it on our YouTube page, and we're going to get out to some more scoreboard stuff here in just a minute. Also, want to invite you that tonight when we get done, go over to WLWT Blitz 5. They're live at 11 with all the scores and highlights from across the area. So join Charlie Clifford and Jaron May tonight at 11 on Blitz 5, WLWT Channel 5. There you have that. And Jacob, let's get into these playoff pairings. We're going to get back out and run through the scores for sure here in a minute, especially in Kentucky and Indiana, where we have some more finals as well. But you know, JoeIdle.com, these aren't official. Obviously, OHSA put out some rankings earlier this week, but Joe Idle, a trusted source for the unofficial Harbin rankings here on the program for a number of years. And Man, it's really shaping up. Let's start by looking at Region 4, Division 1. Elder obviously moving to 8-0. They are taking a controlling seat here.
Yeah.
In the points. And Moeller with their victory tonight. Right now, it looks like there's 7 teams, according to Joe Idle in Division 1, that have clinched a playoff spot, 4 others that control their own destiny. Why don't you sort of shake it out for us a little bit?
Yeah, so the 7 teams that are already clinched are Lakota East and West, Winton Woods, Princeton, St. X, Moeller, and then Elder at the top. Teams who control their destiny are Mason, Fairfield, Oak Hills, and Walnut Hills. And then Hamilton is at that 11 spot in between Oak Hills and Walnut Hills, but they do not control their own destiny.
Yeah.
But just, looking at this a little bit, I mean, huge win, like we were talking about earlier when we talked to Coach Crouch for the Big Blue. Hamilton getting that win might sneak them into the playoffs, beating Fairfield today, because Fairfield was ahead of them in the rankings. And if Hamilton can string together, a couple more wins here at the end of the year, they might be able to get in. And I just think, Elder, they're going to have a home playoff spot. You'd assume Moeller, St. X, and Princeton will probably all have those spots as well.
Yeah, and that's a bye, too. I mean, the way it works with these 12 teams, if you're a top 4 seed, it's not just a home game, it's a bye.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, at the end of the day, probably doesn't matter if it's a bye compared to playing a 16 seed, but it could. I mean, we've seen it before. There's been instances where things happen, and certainly you could get a player hurt.
And I'll attest to that, too, just playing football, not too long ago. By the end of the season, you're banged up and, you're hurting a little bit. So I think getting that bye week is crucial.
Yeah. Well, in Kentucky, in Indiana, they got byes built into the schedule.
Right.
So.
And I know Kentucky, sometimes they start like a week earlier. But yeah, I definitely think having a bye week is crucial. I know Moeller's dealt with some injuries kind of throughout the year. So just an extra week to kind of get healthy, or if there's any kind of aches or pains, get some treatment, get some, rehab, the good old ice and elevate. So, and I think matchup wise, there's going to be some really interesting ones, because if, you're assuming the first 4 teams that are getting a bye is Elder, Moeller, X, Princeton. If
it sits like it is tonight, that would be the case.
And then you'd kind of get like, you got a lot of GMC teams sandwiched in this literally 6 to 12, 11 range. There's 5.
You have
GMC
Lakota
teams.
West and Hamilton as a first week matchup. You would have Oak Hills and Lakota East.
Yeah.
You would have Fairfield Mason. It's like the GMC Invitational to see who gets into the big dance.
Yeah.
Let's take a quick glance at Region 8, Division 2. We talked about Middletown, and they're a good spot over there in Region 2 of Division 1, but let's focus on something we haven't talked about much tonight. Division 2, Region 8, and clearly Anderson, the creme de la creme here. They've clinched a top 8 spot, a home game for sure. Really, they're the only team in that it's clinched, because there's a lot more top heavy.
It's top heavy.
Yeah, it's very top heavy here. And it's the same format. Top 12 teams following Week 10 qualify for the playoffs. But as of right now, Anderson, Kings, Trotwood, Madison, Harrison, there's your 4 teams on the bye. LaSalle, they're playing Week 1, Jacob.
Yeah.
As would Withrow. Turpin is number 10, according to Joe Idle right now.
You got Aiken in there at 11.
Aiken, what a story that is. Now, they took a bad beating tonight, but this is what dropped into 11.
Mm-hmm.
But really, there's only 4 teams that control their own destiny in Region 8. And they are Kings, Trotwood, Madison, Xenia, and Turpin. So you get a little bit more of those SWAC and those GWAC teams and stuff in the mix. But, man, you talk about a wide-open region. I mean, it is top-heavy with Anderson. Somebody's going to have to beat them, but the rest of it's going to be a dogfight.
Still, you just got to go with, how they've been in the past and, what they've also done this season. But I really do think this region's Anderson's to lose. But, I mean, we've talked about it. Kings has a really solid squad this year. Harrison's solid. So, so is LaSalle. I mean, LaSalle, you just got to play. They're coming off all their losses or GCL losses, which, that's great prep for going into the playoffs. You're playing really good teams. And Anderson won't surprise a team like LaSalle when they've already seen a Moeller, a St. X, and an Elder. But, you saw Turpin and Lebanon this week. That was a insane game. So, Turpin's got a solid squad, and we've talked about the ECC. The ECC is just rock solid all around. I think they have like 6 solid teams in that conference.
Yeah.
So
it's going to be interesting. I don't know a ton about. Obviously, I know Trotwood's pretty good, but I'm not as up to speed on Xenia and Lima Senior to see what they're going to have to offer here. But there's also more teams, a lot more teams staying home in this region. That's what the thing is. Division II has more schools.
Yeah, it's 23 schools, I think, and then Region 4 only has 18 schools. So you got about 5 more schools.
Following tonight's action, one final quick little playoff sneak peek. Let's go over to Division 4, Region 16. This is always one of Greg's favorite to talk about, but Indian Hill, Taft, and Valley View, the top 3 seeds right now per Joe Idle, coming out of Week 8's finals here tonight. Indian Hill, number 1 currently. Those 3 have all clinched a playoff spot, according to Joe Idle. CHCA, one of our other top 5, Blitz 5 top 25 teams, they're currently the 4 seed and would have that bye. But then you got a slew of contenders there for 4 through 12, and this is going to be some very good playoff football.
Yeah, and I know I went to last year. I went to, I think, the regional final for this division.
Okay,
and that was Taylor versus Alter, I believe, last year.
Okay. All the years start to blur together. Right now, I'm thinking ahead here.
Yeah, but this year, I mean, man, Taft is really, and I know Indian Hill is really good too, but I mean, Taft has a ton of talent. I was in here a couple weeks ago recording with Greg for one of the pregame shows, and we got a chance to talk to Taft's head coach, and he was just telling us about all the talent that they have. I mean, it's rare that you see, like a Division 4 school have, 5 to 10 Division 1 college players on their team. So,
no doubt about it. And Tyler Williams has done a great job there at Taft of getting them all to buy. And they only have they barely have 40 players on that team. Most of those dudes play 2 ways.
Playing both ways.
Yeah.
And I just think that Taft, I would not be shocked if it is Taft, Indian Hill in the final. I know that's kind of cliche to say, the number 1 and 2 teams, but another team Clinton Massey's been really good the last few years, and this year they're 6-1. Clinton Massey or Wyoming wouldn't surprise me. If they kind of made a little run there at that 5 and 6 spot, but as of right now, Valley View, Taft, and Indian Hill are the only 3 teams that have clinched a playoff spot there.
Yeah, we're going to have some teams making some deep playoff runs. It's going to be exciting. We'll keep you posted. And, here on the program, we'll continue to stay here with high school football tonight all the way through the postseason. Now, once St. Xavier loses, we may not have post-game shows, but we'll be talking playoffs, and you'll want to stay tuned, obviously, to tristatefootball.com as we get you up to date on there. We got a couple minutes for a break, so I want to get out to the Underground Sports Shop scoreboard. For those that may be just joining us, get back over to Kentucky, run through our Bluegrass scores for you there, including the game of the night, Highlands falling to Elder at the Pit 40-16. Bellevue beats Dayton, their river rival, 18-0 in that one. Covcath 17-10 over Indianapolis Cathedral. Franklin County beats Grant County 63-0. It is final now. Simon Kenton, they get the win 35-16 versus Great Crossing. Holy Cross 6, Bishop Brossard 3. Newcath, they win versus Newport tonight, 26-6 in a game played at Dixie Heights High School. Ryle, they continue their impressive season, flexing their muscle versus Campbell County, 54-0. Beechwood blanks St. Henry, 70-0. Walton Verona gets a good win for the team, 52-13 over Gallatin County. And then the Thursday games, Boone County, as I mentioned, their first district win since 2016. They won in overtime last night, 36-28 over Scott. They were down 20-6. Is that right? Actually, maybe I'm confusing that with something else now. They were down, 20-6 to start the fourth quarter there. Lloyd, the Juggernauts, they are Juggernauts this year, 41-6. Dixie, they defeat Connor 34-7. Looks like they're going to probably lock up a home playoff game, which I know was a big goal there for Coach Burke and the Colonels, and a team that's now won 3 or 4 games. So starting to turn it around there in Dixieland. So Jacob, obviously, Highlands, we talked a little bit about Ryle, Beechwood. In the Kentucky side of football, I think right now the next week is going to decide. All the district plays will be out there, and that's where we really start to see these home playoff games. And it's a little bit different there, but something that plays right into what you've been talking about tonight. These are important games, but, postseason runs are what it's all about.
Yeah.
So let's do this. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We're going to try to catch up with the winning coach of one of the craziest games of the night. Hopefully we can get the winner from Lebanon and Turpin to join us. We got some game balls. We'll run through those Ohio scores one more time and put the exclamation point on the Week 8 edition of high school football tonight right here on Cincinnati's ESPN 1530 and Fox Sports 1360.
We've been doing our own thing for more than 50 years at Gold Star. All so you can do your own thing. The Coney thing, the veggie thing, the fries thing, the juicy flat top burger thing, the cheesy crunchy wrapped up in a tortilla can't believe this is a thing. It's not what you'd expect from a neighborhood chili parlor, and we think that's a good thing. At Gold Star, you're invited to come as you are, like what you like, and follow your own recipe.
Penn Station is turning up the heat. The Ghost Pepper Cheesesteak. Premium steak, provolone, and fiery ghost pepper cheese. Only here through November. Get it before it vanishes. Visit Penn Station or order on our website or app. Penn Station. Love your sub. You craving what I'm craving?
For over 20 years, the Underground Sports Shop has been the local favorite for sports teams, fans, and businesses who are looking for quality products with prices they can afford. From uniforms and sports gear to fan apparel and promotional items, we take pride in providing you with the customized products you need and the service you deserve. To place an order, visit us online at theundergroundsportsshop.com or call us at 5.
All right, I didn't get an answer, but that didn't really surprise me. I left him a voicemail telling him to call back in if he gets a chance.
Field.
5.
Yep. I'll give you a 30-second bumper. Yep.
Gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BLUE to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the
Here we go.
promo code BLUE for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BLUE for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Week 10
All right, welcome back into Cincinnati Children's High School Football tonight. Post-game show here on ESPN 1530, Fox Sports 1360. Dan Claskins, Jacob Burkmeyer. He's in for Shu. Shu is off to see the Packers and Bengals play, which will be a fun one for him and so many fans up there. Are you buying into the Joe Flacco hype?
You have to.
Yeah.
You can't not. You got to try and enjoy it. At least, hopefully, he'll throw some nice deep balls.
Yes.
Get some deep completions. Heard Shu might be doing a Lambeau leap this weekend.
Oh, yeah. Let's see Greg do a Lambeau leap. That would be impressive. He might be doing a Lambeau tailgate. That sounds more like Shu's side there. But hope any of you all heading up there have a safe trip and bring back a winner. But no, we're talking high school football here, and we'll be doing it all the way up to 11 o'clock. And big thanks out to our producer, Drew Westerheide, for all of his help tonight. Haley Vallandingham for helping out with the live stream. All the great work over there with our NKU friends. Wes Akers, his entire class at Friday Football Live, TGIF Football on X. And while you're out there, be sure to like Tri-State Football, wherever you on your social channels there, Facebook. You can follow us on X, YouTube, Instagram. Like we said, we'll be having recaps of all of tonight's big stuff. And as always, the program here, High School Football Tonight, it's brought to you by Penn Station, hometown love in every sub, and Thomas More University. Accelerate your career with a business degree from Thomas More University. All right, we'll get to game balls here in a minute, but we did want to get back out and look at some scores and different notes. Let's get to some Indiana scores, a couple there of note that we haven't referenced in a while. Greensboro East Central. That was 61-0 in favor of the Trojans. They win big there. Lawrenceburg,
Coach Failer's ready.
55-14. And South Dearborn fell to Rushville, consolidated 26-16 there. But no doubt, the game of the night, one of the more exciting games. We were watching it here on the live stream, and it literally just ended. Lebanon, they get a field goal in double overtime after blocking a field goal. Knocks off Turpin 41-38. Head coach Michael Failer with us. Now, Mike, congrats on the big win, man. We appreciate you taking a couple minutes. This had to be one of the most crazy football games you've ever been in.
Yeah, it's one that gives you a lot of gray hair, that's for sure. Yeah, a lot of fun though. Yeah.
Little rattled there. What was it like, man? I mean, I was watching the live stream as we were hosting the show, which I was slightly distracted. I apologize to the listeners, but you guys get the stop on the field goal. But when that field goal went through, the crowd looked like it went crazy. Like, just what was the feeling like on the sidelines when this one finally came to an end?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a culmination of a really bad start for us. I mean, they were up 17-0, and I think it was one of those games. They jumped us, and we knew they were a good football team. I mean, they are a good football team, and we knew going in. I said it's gonna be a 4-quarter battle, and it ended up being plus. And I think what I saw in the eyes of my players was there wasn't a moment when we thought we were going to lose the game. It was just, can we execute to the point of finality, and close it out, and that's what we did. I think those kind of games pay so many dividends in the future. They build that character and that just belief that you're going to win.
Yeah, absolutely. And Coach, I was able to get out and watch one of your games earlier this year. And I know Luke Failers played, really well for you guys this year, and then also Nick Lauder. Yeah. But I saw tonight, looked like Wyatt Lassen. He had a really nice game, like couple touchdown passes and stuff. Just kind of talk about the offense and getting kind of contributions from everywhere tonight.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes this offense good, and I think what makes it work is, when you have guys like Nick Lauder, but then you have Wyatt Lawson, then you have Daniel Wallace, then you have Logan Schmenk, and then you have Luke's ability to be able to run the ball. I think it makes it difficult for teams to, double team a guy, and we've seen that time and time again, week in and week out where, they'll choose to double a player, and we're fortunate enough to have enough threats where Luke does a nice job spreading the ball around, where, Wyatt had a monster game tonight, but, last week, then it's, 2 weeks ago, it's Nick Lauder, and then before that, it's Daniel Wallace, so we've been blessed with, a large amount of playmakers that allows us to be versatile.
Defense, obviously opportunistic. You guys come up with some more turnovers here tonight. But, as you sit here, I mean, you've had, as you mentioned, you've had all these different types of wins, a couple tough losses in there. I mean, Region 2 is not going to be any easy path. What is it there that you really feel like, Micah, the football team, if you are going to make a run, like, is there one thing you think that you got to see the team take a step forward still that's going to be the difference in a deep run?
Yeah, well, several things, and this is true for any team when you get to this point in the season and you start looking at the playoffs. But it's our depth and the health of our players. We've had some injuries in our defensive backfield, and that's an area of our team that we've struggled. I mean, tonight was another example. We had multiple times where, we had Turpin in 3rd and long, 4th and long situations, and we gave up some long passes, and we've got some young guys in that secondary that are still learning, So I think this team healing up, getting some of those guys back, and when we've had some of those injuries, guys have to go both ways, You're talking about Daniel Wallace, a guy that's going both ways. Jack Seiko is going both ways, at receiver and in the secondary. So, you go to make a deep run in the playoffs, that takes a toll on a team, So I think our recovery has to be on point, and, looking forward to getting some injured guys back as well.
Well, Michael, we know your nerves have definitely been pushed to the limit here. I imagine you're pretty tired, so we appreciate you spending a couple minutes with us, man. Congrats on this exciting win. We sure enjoyed watching. I'm sure a lot of your fans did as well.
Yeah, it was an exciting night, and I appreciate you guys taking the time to talk to me.
Absolutely.
All right, there you have it. Lebanon, they win tonight in a thriller, 41-38, double overtime over Turpin. Head coach Michael Failor joining us here on the program. Best of luck to you, Coach. Jacob, big one there, and the life of a kicker. You talk about. Nobody really. A lot of times it's unheralded. Unless they make a mistake, but. Man, you put that winning kick through the field goal post. That's a pretty good feeling.
You said I know you were watching the stream, and you said Lebanon blocked a kick in the first overtime, correct?
Yeah. Well, I believe it was to start the second overtime. Because they had their possession.
Yeah.
But there was a number of field goal opportunities that didn't get converted. But what a fun game!
Yeah, you look at that right there. That's the third phase of the game. That's not talked about a lot. Is special teams and. Lebanon's able to block a kick and then come down and, drill one right through the middle of the uprights on the other end. And that's that little difference at the end of the game that wins you it. So can't ever overlook that third phase of, special teams because it really is crucial. And especially it's been the theme throughout tonight, but, we're 2 weeks from playoffs starting up. So if you can get a punt return touchdown, make your kicks or kick return touchdown. It's like those are huge momentum, swings and things that can help win you a game in the playoffs.
It wasn't even the only overtime game tonight in the ECC, by the way. Loveland and Little Miami, 37-34. I finally got a final on that one in overtime as well. So
wow.
A lot of down-to-the-wire contests. All right. As we start to wrap up the last few minutes of the program here, Jacob, obviously we're going to get to game balls, but as we look at the big storylines coming out of this night, obviously Harrison, we talked with Derek, their head coach, and that's a huge win for them, really propels. I think we took the playoff picture in there as well, but St. X with the win versus LaSalle got off the snide, really improved their positioning tonight. Elder and Moeller continuing to flex their muscle. What are the other things that you walk away from here hanging your hat on tonight?
It's a lot of the same stuff you said. If we had to give out, like a game ball, I think Tommy Becker's got to get one from Elder. Kid had 14 carries, 100 yards, 4 touchdowns.
Yes.
So very impressive night from him, and that Elder offense just ran for 300.
Elder is 8-0, and I don't have this confirmed, but I'm seeing multiple people on X. Their best start last time they were 8-0 was 1991, dude.
It's crazy.
You weren't even born. Nope. I myself was in high school, so that's a long time ago. So, congrats to the Panthers, a big win there. But yeah, so there's a game ball. Tommy Becker's getting a game ball. You're giving out a game ball. I'll give out a game ball, and dude, I'm gonna go and give one out. Devlin Daniel was another big storyline tonight. Indian Hill, 45-0. Really just looking like a team that is going to be a force to reckon with in Division 4. They win tonight. He had 3 carries for 41 rushing yards and 3 rushing touchdowns in the first quarter alone. He ends up with 4, barely plays the second half. Indian Hill looking pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. If I had to give out, I don't know if this is allowed, but just give it to the entirety of the Winton Woods defense.
Yes.
You
can.
Yeah, for allowing, barely any yardage, actually negative yardage. I don't know if that's what we saw earlier tonight. But, yeah, Winton Woods shutting out West Claremont 35-0. On the ECC website, it says West Claremont gained 22 yards, but we had negative 22.
Either way,
earlier.
It's almost 500 yards more of offense.
It's crazy.
Ryder Hooks, we talked about him. He gets a game ball tonight. He put up those monster Madden numbers I like. 243 rushing yards, 4 rushing touchdowns, had 2 catches, 25 yards. Lakota East by 20 over Coleraine.
And
other game balls, Dixie Heights, I mentioned they won last night. Nishon Goldsby, I'll give a game ball to. 9 catches, 201 receiving yards, 2 receiving touchdowns. Big night there indeed, Jacob, on that one. So And my final game ball that I had here to Lawrenceburg. The Tigers win in tonight in impressive fashion, and Isaiah Barnes, 4 rushing touchdowns, including 2 over 40 yards. So really just taking it to the house, getting it done, and doing it in impressive fashion there. So anything else you got on game ball side?
I'll give one more game ball out to Andre Bailey. I know we talked to Coach Harvey Crouch earlier today. Andre Bailey, 31 rushing attempts, 123 yards, and the go-ahead touchdown with a minute remaining left to seal the win for the Big Blue tonight.
Very, very impressive there. So good on that. Jacob, you did pretty good filling in for Shu. It's not an easy job here, but we'll get you back out to the games, and we'll catch you on Monday nights with the TSF Rewind. You and Daniel Kuhn. You did a great job, my friend.
Thank you. Yeah, it's always a pleasure. It's fun.
Always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure. We thank every one of you for listening here tonight. Remember, all the coach interviews, we'll have them up over on our podcast page on Spotify. You can get to that at tristatefootball.com, and be sure to check out the website for all the recaps of tonight's action. We'll be up our team and player of the weeks on Sunday morning as well. So that's all the time we've got for our producer, Drew Westerheide, Haley Vallandingham, Jacob Burkmeyer. I'm Dan Klaskins. Thanks for listening in to another edition of High School Football Tonight on ESPN 1530 and Fox Sports 1360.
This is Fox Sports.